Well, good afternoon. I think green finance and green technologies can be said as the two wheels of a bicycle, propelling all the economies to move forward. Please have a seat. I just want to have a little bit of exercise after lunch in my introductory remarks. So they are the two wheels of a bicycle, if you like, propelling economies to move forward in the pathway to net zero. This morning, we have heard quite a bit on the green finance side. This afternoon, we want to dive deeper into green technology. And in fact, green technology, the fundamental force that drives the transition, has been experiencing tremendous growth in recent years. Now, I'm going to quote you a figure. I'm sure you like to have some figures. The UNTAC report published recently on green frontier technology points us to a market size of $2.1 trillion for green technology that includes electric vehicles, solar and wind energy, green hydrogen, etc., to reach a market size of $2.1 trillion in the year 2030. And that would be 4 times the figure or its value in 2020. So with that, and given the very significant potential and importance of green tech development in the region and around the world, here in Hong Kong, the Hong Kong SAR government is committed to establishing Hong Kong as an international green technology and green finance center. And we have set out very clear directions for accelerating this development. So if you may, I would like to steal just a few minutes from our panelists' time to outline for you what the Hong Kong SAR government has been doing or to achieve this goal. And I would like to outline 4 areas of work here. First, on institutional setup, we have set up a green technology and finance development committee chaired by the financial secretary himself to chart the way forward for the development of green technology and green finance in Hong Kong. Areas to be looked at include talent development, of course, startup incubation, development of green certification and standards, commercialization of R&D outcomes, green finance application case, and innovation, development of necessary market infrastructure and practical use cases. Just to list a few examples. Dr. Margin is a member of the committee, so is Jonathan. So thank you for your support and look forward to your insights in that high-level committee. So on the interagency level, we have also set up an interagency committee called the Green and Sustainable Finance Cross-Agency Steering Group to lead the way in the implementation of all these relevant initiatives. So we are glad to say that apart from us, the Financial Services and Treasury Bureau, the Environment and Ecology Bureau on the government side, our financial regulators, all our financial regulators, including the Hong Kong MA, the Securities and Futures Commission, the Insurance Authority, our Financial Reporting Council, and also our MPFA Authority members as well. So we are also glad to say that we draw a lot of private sector participants into the work of the committee. Now, secondly, of course, you will be all interested in the funding part. On this, you may be familiar with the Greentech Fund. That has a size of some $400 million as the pool for supporting the green themes. They have been receiving applications over the past 3 years already, and the themes will include energy saving, green transport, waste management, and waste quality, and net zero electricity generation, energy saving, green buildings, transport waste reduction, or a long list hopefully will help the transition there. We, of course, you will have heard from the Financial Secretary that we are very big on the issuance of green bond. In Hong Kong, we have taken up 1/3 of the green bond issuance in the region. And we also have a scheme for supporting the issuance, especially the issuance cost for the green bond issuance in Hong Kong. Now, thirdly, on talent, I think we are going to hear more from the experts on this very important area. We have recently launched, together with the Hong Kong MA, a green and sustainable finance capacity building support scheme to really sponsor market practitioners and students to undertake the relevant training and partake in courses and acquire the relevant qualifications in this very complicated and very knowledge-based path to net zero. So stay tuned for that and help to spread the word on this scheme. And lastly, on promotion, I think this forum is a very good example of promotion, what we are doing here. I mentioned the cross-agency steering group, and they are going to, we together, of course, to launch a directory of green fintech companies in Hong Kong to serve as a handy reference for all the practitioners. So without further ado, I think you're all eager to hear from our panelists today. We want to perhaps start with the current landscape, sure, or how you see Greentech is developing in Hong Kong from your perspective. I may like to perhaps start with Aldous. You by the way, Aldous is the Chief Finance Officer from the Hong Kong Science and Technology Parks Corporation. So Science Park is home to more than 100 sort of a technology companies, innovation companies, Greentech including. Yep. So can you give us your views and how you look at the landscape, current landscape?
Okay, thanks, Salina. So maybe before I answer these questions, maybe I can share the audience a bit more background about Science Park first. Okay. You know, Science Park is just a platform that is to help the innovation and technology companies in Hong Kong. In fact, we are working for the government on this. So altogether in Science Park, we have more than 14,000 tech companies. So talking about green tech, in fact, in our ecosystem, we have around 130 green tech companies. But back to our strategic goals of Science Park, in fact, we have three strategic goals which can be applied to different techs, including green tech. First, I think the role of Science Park is to try to help develop the ecosystem, for a technology company. And second, we need to build the infrastructure and then to help the ecosystem develop and also grow. And thirdly, is to try to continue to improve the ecosystem. So that is the three major strategic goals of Science Park. So, and that's also applied to green tech. So back to green tech itself, in fact, I can summarize the green tech company working in Science Park. They have four major pillars. First, I think their focus is more on the green and also sustainable buildings. What I mean here is that probably I think you may agree that nowadays a lot of property developers, they are looking for some tech solutions, low carbon emission building materials. So that is what I mean by the green and also sustainable buildings. In fact, one of our company, they are pretty successful. They're under our incubation program. They invented, or I have to say that they engage in producing a kinds of the cooling tools, cooling tool painting, so that they can reduce or bring down the temperature of any surface of the building. So that is a very good material that can be applied in the construction industry. So that is one thing. So second, the second pillar is more on the green and also the energy, new energy, and also the energy efficiency. So let's take, for example, one of our park company, they also provide some energy efficiency very cost effectiveness and also environmental friendly energy for the market. So that is also about the new energy that we are talking about. And the third pillar is about the green and also sustainable or smart living. So in fact, I can quote two examples. One is about which is also a very successful award-winning company in our science park. They use the 3D printing to print the reef under the sea using the crate, and then they try to they are in order to restore the whole coral reef under the sea. So that is a very interesting but very successful park company from Science Park. And the second park company is they are using one technology to try to resolve the insufficient EV charges in Hong Kong. They are providing these kinds of EV charging services and solutions to Hong Kong, which I hope that in future, with that solution, they can resolve the insufficient EV charges in Hong Kong. So that is about the four major pillars that our Greentech company are driving in Science Park.
That's very interesting. I'm sure, well, by listening and hearing what you told us, I think we should organize a tour to the Science Park at some point, maybe at the next edition. Mm-hmm. So actually this morning, the Financial Secretary also mentioned that Hong Kong has, with its world-class universities, are very strong in basic science, which may not be very well known outside, but we are very strong in basic science. But also as a very vibrant international, commercial, and financial setup, I think we can marry the two very well and to promote green tech and green finance together. So thank you so much. Yep. So talking about finance, perhaps we can move to Alice, who is the head of entrepreneurship in Hong Kong Cyberport. We have been cooperating quite closely with the Cyberport in the promotion of fintech. So can you give your views and insights on where we stand on green technology, especially fintech, in promoting the green agenda from the Cyberport's point of view?
Yeah, thank you, Salina. I think many people will ask one question: what's the difference between Science Park and Cyberport? Yeah, the two tech park in Hong Kong. I think, as Aldous said, Science Park more focus on the deep tech, and we do focus on the digital technology. Definitely, fintech is one of our biggest. The cluster that we are driving, in the technology field, and we focus definitely on the digital tech with the platform, with the network, related solutions, and we drive not only the early stage, the innovation, but starting from the seeding foundation up to incubation and then scale up and then regional expansion and commercialization. I think that's very important because once your idea coming out, you do need to have a lot of the support, services, funding, resources to groom it bigger, and then the regional scale up, and then even IPO or into a very world-class enterprise. So fintech is, I think, Cyberport has the biggest fintech community, startup community in Hong Kong. 2/3 of the fintech startup companies in Hong Kong are in Cyberport, over 400 of them. So we do have the foundation to let these group of the fintech companies to expand in different clusters, including the green tech collaboration. Yeah, because here, especially for the innovation in the green tech, we need a lot of the resources. We need the support with the environment and also the condition that led the solutions to be adopted. So funding, very important here, and how to use the technology, especially the fintech, to help. I think in our Cyberport community, we do have some of the companies working like on the ESG data analytics, and then also creating platform for investment comparison. And then you will see how all those solutions or the projects that have the very high potentials to be invested, and what's their portfolio, what's their profile, and all the technology on hand, and a lot of the IP that they got. So this platform-wise data analytics, that's very important for driving all that investment into the green tech field. And this is what part of the solutions in our Cyberport community that they can provide in the fintech support. Certainly, some of them also using blockchain, technology, and the some sophisticated advanced algorithm AI that creating some solutions avoid the greenwashing. That's also important, because this can draw the real picture for the investors and how that can be realized to be the real value of that project. And so this is very important in a way to show the fact here. And besides, we also sometimes face the challenges of different regional regulatory requirement differences. And how to bridge and how to make that comparison, I think digital technology can give a hand here, especially in the fintech field. So this is also linking to the resources, to the monetary values, of the projects. And besides, as Salina just mentioned about green bonds, very exciting, initiatives from the government supporting the whole ESG development. And I think the besides, the tokenizing of the green bonds, next time maybe we can explore how to inform the investors about the, the development and the carbon reduction performance of their investment. And if that can be, can use the technology linking the green bond together with the carbon reduction performances, then the investors can, directly see the impact on it, and even driving more and more investment in this field. I think this is also one of the opportunities that fintech companies and the startups can put in technology, helping the development of the whole ecosystem development in the ESG area.
That's great. Thanks, Alice. I think fintech is actually at the moment, FSTB ourselves also is chairing a coordination committee on the development of fintech. And we have a lot of initiatives on this front. So we'll be very happy to share with you all. But now, taking the chance, I would like to turn to King. King Au, I think King needs no introduction to you. He is, of course, the Executive Director of the Financial Services Development Council in Hong Kong, which draws all the bright minds in the financial services sector and do a lot of very insightful reports and pointing the way in the future to the development of financial services in Hong Kong. And I think green is, of course, a key part of that work. So before I turn to the future, perhaps I turn to you, King, to ask you about the current ecosystem for green technology development, especially from the private sector point of view. We have heard from Science Park, Cyberport. They are working very closely with the government side and, of course, with a view to also helping the startup space and technology companies. But you, from the FSDC point of view, how are you seeing the landscape developing on the green tech front, perhaps especially in terms of talents?
Sure. Thanks for that kind introduction, Salina. I'll start with the talent development first, because we've recently published 2 papers. The first one was back in August 21, actually. It's focusing on fintech talents in digital and sustainable economy. In there, we've made several recommendations, and we are glad that one of that has been taken up by the government with the introduction of this pilot green and sustainable finance capacity building support scheme. But we have also put forward more initiatives, or at least suggestions, such as career tasting program. This was mentioned in our latest report, just came out in August this year. Because in terms of talent, we really need to take it beyond universities. We already made a recommendation that ESG should be made mandatory, or at least a key elective subject for finance students. And I'm glad that one of the local universities in Hong Kong has taken up this recommendation. But we really need to provide more training opportunity for students and practitioners, especially for those who want to upskill themselves. So definitely subsidies for professional training is important. So I have to congratulate the Euro Chamber for introducing a ESG student program. But I would encourage the industry to take this initiative further, because I'm sure there are a lot of well-resourced companies, be it utilities company, fund managers, banks. I think if we can give more opportunity to students, at least for job tasting or even shadowing, I think that would be very useful. And last but not least, we think awareness is also important. So obviously, within the financial sector, we all understand what green finance is. But we should really, again, try and broaden that education to the broader community, especially, again, starting with the schools. I'm sure a lot of schools are already doing it. And in terms of landscape, I'd like to look at it from a financing perspective. One of the reasons why we recommended to the Hong Kong government to develop family office businesses back in 2020 is not really to make Hong Kong as a tax haven, but it really is to draw private capital from all over the world into Hong Kong. Because if you look at the share of private capital in venture capital, in PE investment, there's been a rising trend. I've got some statistics here based on a report from PwC. When family offices, last year, 10% of all the deals were sponsored by family offices. And of all the startup investment, 33% came from family offices. And Greentech accounts for 61% of some of the family office investment, based on another report from UBS. So we can see the importance of private capital, especially we are talking about the new generation of asset owners. A lot of them want to be involved. It's no longer just making donation, right? So that's why we are all talking about impact investing. So I would say, in order to take this initiative further, we really need to explore more PPP partnership, public-private partnership, such as the scheme that we just mentioned, the sponsoring scheme. But I'm now looking at investment, because some of these new technologies are definitely very risky and will have very different risk-return payoff. So if we can structure some kind of public-private partnership with the government taking on some of the even regulatory risk in certain aspects, might actually help stimulate the development of Greentech.
That's good. I'm glad, King, you bring out the point about private capital helping the new economy and technology front, because I think Hong Kong is the platform for the gathering of private capital here. You talk about a family office initiative. You would, of course, be aware that we already passed that legislation to grant, sort of waive the taxation for investment here in Hong Kong by single family offices. So do make use of that. And for that, I think Hong Kong is the listing platform that attracts a lot of international investors. Will serve a very good exit sort of platform for startup companies. We have very good examples in the biotech chapter of the Hong Kong Exchange, our stock market. And you may be aware that in the recent sort of consultation paper on our GEM market, there is also this proposal that the smaller companies who have a significant R&D elements in their business and initiative can qualify to be listed in GEM. So I do encourage you to look at that private sector funding as well for raising capitals for technology companies, including green tech companies. On this, I perhaps go back to you, Aldous. How do you see the commercialization prospect for our green technology companies in Hong Kong? I think we hold out a very good prospect but I want to hear what your actual experience is on this one.
Yeah, so in fact, Science Park also do a lot in supporting our tech company to commercialize their product, because even we have a lot of funding program, even we develop different funding scheme with different scale, with different amount of funding for different life stage of tech company. But at the end, funding is just one piece. They still need to know how to fish instead of we feed them fish. And that's why we need to help them to commercialize this product. And that's why we make use of our team called commercialization team, corporate partnership team. In fact, in our corporate partnership, we have more than 300 corporate partners in our corporate partnership scheme, which means that we try to connect our tech company with all the corporate partners, and then make sure that they have the opportunity to pitch their products to the corporate partners, which I think in the past we do see that this is pretty effective, that the corporate partner can really adopt their solutions. Which means that from a tech company standpoint, they can really recognize it as their revenues so that it can reflect in their future valuation and also their fundraising activities. That is more important. And that's why for commercialization, that is one thing that we are driving. So in fact, Science Park itself is also a platform for them to test out their products. With the real life data, the production data that can be provided for the tech company. On one hand, it can help them to improve their products. On the other hand, they can use our production live data and then to pitch their products to the commercial sector, to the corporate partner. That can also increase their chance of success in selling their products. So that is the way that we help them to try to commercialize these products. Yeah.
Good. I know that Cyberport also have similar initiative in bringing together the startups, the fintech startups, together with the well-established financial institutions in Hong Kong. Actually, we fund a little bit of that initiative.
Thanks for the support.
Can you share with us a little bit of that sort of experience? Is it successful, and what sort of startups, fintech startups can benefit from that? I know that initiative also provides or encourage fintech startups to do cross-boundary projects, especially projects that involve the Greater Bay Area, the GBA. So providing opportunities for exposure, actually to provide solutions. I think green technology is part of the equation because it provides solutions to the problem, and that is very important. So any sort of reflections from that sort of cooperation with the GBA and maybe larger with the mainland as the huge market for us?
Yeah, thank you, Salina. I think highly appreciate this is the FSTB's initiative, and also funding provide to the startups but commission Cyberport to execute this program. And we are very honored because as the biggest fintech community, startup community here, we do have the chance also start working closely with the financial institutions in developing the prototype, because this is a proof of concept fintech support. Funding for them. And we match on one side the fintech startup companies, and then the other side is the finance institutions, and then they collaborate as hands in hand for prototype products. And we are really grateful that close to 100 of the projects successfully match, and then around I think about 70% of them actually really implemented in their institutions, and they continue, and over 50 of them continue in 3 years in 3 years application in the future. And they committed to continue the projects, and then also, not only in Hong Kong and also in cross-border institution, and try all that project out. And so I think the first insight that from this collaboration really proves that if we can, as a connector, bringing both sides together, definitely they have the synergy to work together, because having demand, having supply, but how to bridge them and have a good match, and that's very important. And so fundings, all that whole mechanism, more structural for the matching, and that's really create a fantastic result of the program. And beyond that, we also through this, the delivery of these projects, we understand that the financial institution also wants to learn more about fintech and also other solutions possibility for development with the startups, because this is only a start for them. They want to try more, even though they may not have, upfront some ideas, but at least have started the confidence to work together. And this is the very good start for them to generate more opportunities together. And this is, I think, upcoming, hopefully, they also moving a lot towards ESG. Definitely at the very beginning, they made solving the direct pain point of the financial institution. But later on, because of a lot of the initiative in green tech and green financing, surely more will come up with ESG-related solutions to be developed. And so I think the good matching, the funding support, and also the continual monitoring and the coaching and mentoring, we also provide mentorship for them. Yeah, because not only both parties, but also need the institutional support on the IP issue, legal issue, or even for the cross-border customization. That's also need a lot of the coaching and mentorship. And I think this is a really, really fantastic program.
Great, thank you. Now, let's move to the future, and let's start with you, King. What strategies would you advise us to take to develop green technology? And I would broaden it for you also, green finance. What strategy you would advise?
Right, I think sustainable finance is definitely the key focus. We started with first paper on green finance back in 2016. So I'm glad that we are actually moving actually at a faster pace than we originally anticipated. But I think the biggest challenge is transitional finance. We have a lot of international standards on reporting, on disclosure, but at the end of the day, we also need to look at the key stakeholders, whether they have the resources and know-how to bridge this gap. So that's why I think transitional finance is definitely a key, and definitely and green tech would inevitably help reduce those costs. But I would also like to bring up a topic which is very close to our heart, something that we're considering taking a deeper dive into. That affects the whole innovation sector. It's not just about green tech. It's IP financing, right? As I alluded to earlier, we're looking at innovation, looking at new technology, so there's definitely be investment risk. And so how do we commercialize these new ideas? It is going to be a key challenge, but also an opportunity. So look at the future as very bright, because we have a large hinterland, the mainland market next door. I already know there is a Hong Kong startup that is now producing, I think, fuel for airlines in Europe using recycling domestic oil, right, at the tune of something like $2 million trade per day. On transaction volume. So definitely a lot of opportunities.
Good. I think that opened up a lot of areas for us in the pathway. for net zero, but utilizing green technology. And along the way, capitalizing on the business opportunities as well in the way to do social good. So very briefly, because I'm very conscious of the passage of time, some brief words, key words from you, Aldous and Alice, on the key strategies of success for us in developing green technology.
Maybe lady first.
Sure.
Okay, thank you. I think in this ecosystem, a lot of the stakeholders involved, but somehow I think the very important thing is the openness and the collaboration. Yeah, because if we know that who is working on what and how, then I think the collaborative opportunities will be much more. And so echo to Salina said, there will be, having the green financial technology map that giving more people understanding who in the community is providing what kind of the ESG or green tech support services, so that people can have the opportunity to work closely, closely, and drive the whole ecosystem development. I think collaboration, openness, definitely can drive more. Thank you.
Aldous, you have the last word.
Yes, so to write on Alice, your points, openness and connection. But my suggestion is more to openness to our motherland markets, the GBA markets, and also to connection with the mainland market. So in fact, we also opened our GBA office last month. The main purpose of this is to try to connect some of the good with high potential mainland company to come to Hong Kong, to go overseas. At the same time, we also want to bring our green tech company, our successful startup company, explore market potential in the GBA market. So that is the key
Yes,
strategy.
I think that's a key point here is collaboration and cooperation. Of course, we have been cooperating quite actively with the stakeholders in GBA. And I would just mention perhaps the Hong Kong EX, the stock exchange, have signed MOUs of cooperation with GFAX in Guangdong, and also the Guangzhou-based China Emission Exchange to explore the carbon finance side on the cooperation opportunities on carbon pricing and other. So I come to the end of this session. I promise you some a list of activities or to look forward to. So I'd just like to give you a heads up of these sort of activities coming up. And they include this month from the 26th to 29th of October, the Environment and Ecology Bureau will organize the Eco Expo Asia 2023. So that will feature products and solutions in the field of green buildings, energy efficiency, and so on. And now, for us, FSDB and Invest Hong Kong will again co-organize the Hong Kong FinTech Week from the 30th of October to the 5th of November. I'm sure you all look forward to this annual flagship event for us. And the Hong Kong Monetary Authority has recently launched a green fintech competition to promote the adoption of green fintech solutions in the Hong Kong banking industry. I think Jonathan will be aware of that. Winners will be invited to join and host exhibition booths in the Hong Kong MA Events Green and Sustainable Banking Conference to be held in December. So stay tuned for that. And lastly, as announced in the FS budget this year, in February, the government will also organize an International Green FinTech Week in the first quarter of 2024. So all line up. So I really look forward to seeing you in these activities. So thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.